Hey, everybody. Hey, Tamika and Livy, Chris and Rachel. Thanks for coming on with me today. I really appreciate it. I know some of you are on a little bit early. Why y'all came on so early? Y'all want to see my book? So, I am going to it's probably going to be more talking than anything else because I did a lot of stuff already on this, but today we're going to be talking about how to make an ephemera folio. And I think it's kind of like the trending thing in the junk journal community right now, because Gail Augustinelli, I know I'm saying her name wrong. She did one and everybody was kind of all a rage. But I have to admit that I actually had started one before her video came out and I didn't really complete it. Now, before we get started, I always like to say if you love junk journal stuff, then this is definitely the community for you. So you may as well go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And also, if you're on already, you should have already gave this video a thumbs up because I know you all are the super fans over here, okay? And then make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button so that you'll be notified when more videos like this one come out. So also, just a shameless plug, there's a lot of things in here that you won't see over in the Etsy shop and a lot of things that are in the Etsy shop as well. So I have tons and tons of ephemera over there. My Etsy shop is pretty huge. So y'all should go over there and check it out. And it has a combination of ephemera, journals, digital kits, and everything. And I'm still posting stuff. So with that, let's go on to the book here. And I was kind of inspired. Yeah, I did this yesterday. Look, I already started filling this up. I did this yesterday. And what I was doing was I was kind of testing some techniques out so that I could, for some regular books, because I wanted to start on doing some journals for Christmas, actually. So I was testing some techniques out. So this is probably the worst made book that I've ever made. It's horribly constructed, but it was good enough to actually use for something. So I said, you know what? I want to make me a folio and, well, not really a folio, but I want to make me an ephemera book because y'all know how I am. I go a little bit overboard. So this book actually, like the cover was separate from the back and I was testing like some techniques out. This is a faux leather look and I just did it like in a different color than faux leather. And then it has, I think like what is inside of this? Some kind of, Ritz cracker cardboard for the spine here. And I think the back of it was a used post office envelope that I had. The whole thing is just like, it's crazy, like stuff that I would never use for anything that I would sell to somebody. But anyway, so I kept it for myself. So what I'm going to talk about is... first, I'm going to talk about the construction, what I learned while I was doing this, what I like about it and what I learned. And I have to say that even though this thing is a monstrosity, I really love it. And I love the look of it too, even though the green stuff is just so mismatched. I love it. And so let me just go ahead and open it up because I know y'all waiting for me to open it. I could see what y'all doing on the other end. You're biting your nails. You're saying, Liz, shut up and let's see what's inside. So as we go through it, so the outside is not as important as what's on the inside. So you can use any book. And I'm sure if you're a journal maker, you probably have some books already that you haven't used. So you can just use one of those. So I'm not going to even talk about the cover. I'm just going to talk about the insides. So I put... Okay, you can see inside here, maybe on the bottom it will be better to see. You can see I put 3 signatures in here. And can you see what's wrong with this already? My first signature is already super fat. I made the signature pages out of cardstock, just regular cardstock, one-sided cardstock. I've just found a paper pad and just went to town. Excuse me. And then, hey Penny. And so the next thing that I did was, and the only thing it has is cardstock and an old calendar. That's it. That was my pages. And I made 3 signatures, and I used 3 sheets of paper in each signature. So that's 14 leaves. So that makes 28 pages basically, to use in each signature. So, and this spine, let's see, the spine is about 2 inches. So you can see if I did this over again, I would make the spine like probably about 3 times as big as I did this, because as you can see, I've already started filling this up, and I'm just beyond halfway filling it up, and it is taking up the whole book. Excuse me. Y'all, let me get some water real quick. Hold up. Okay, I don't know why I'm so coffee. You get it? Coffee. Haha. Okay, so I may end up taking a signature out of here, because this is what it's looking like on this side. So this is the first signature by itself, and I already started putting things in. And then the second 2 signatures, I have tons of pages left, so I'll see how it goes. So there's a few elements in here that you can put in your own books as well. I don't have anything in the front. There's no pockets or anything. I did like a little fold over for some of the pages, but hey, boo-boo. I don't know. It doesn't really serve a purpose, but I'm not going to take the fold outs out because I think I can do something with them. So, and you'll see what it is. I'm going to try to work some of this stuff while you all are on with me. And another thing that I did was I put 4 pieces of vellum, and I'll give you the sizes that I use also. I put 4 pieces of vellum on each page. You notice I don't have like big pieces of vellum on each one of these. I just had like smaller pieces because the pieces that I want to put in the book are smaller, and I wanted to be able to pick them out easily, but just big enough so that they didn't fall out. And what I found is the one that I put at the top, I put too close. So that's another thing about that. Well, we're glad to have you, Boo Boo Kitty, on live with us, because we always have a good time, me and my Junk Journal buddies. So I'm glad you're here with us. Okay, so that's one thing that I learned, that this was too close. So what I did was, and I'll go through some of these pages as well. Once I figured that out, I had been through many pages. I had already put the vellum in. So then I started putting things down lower. So in this particular case, I have 4 sections where these flowers are at. And I made sure to have enough space up here at the top. But I did find a fix, and I'll show you guys the fix in a few moments. If I can stop coughing today. Okay, so, and another element that I have in here, because we got the vellum, we got the cardstock. Oh, let me mention the glue. I started with the first page here, and I put these together with glue, and I'll probably go back and do this too. I put like some washi at the bottom, but actually the whole thing around the pocket is glued. I used, on this page, I used some aqua glue. Aqua glue doesn't work good for this job. I tried it and it didn't stick well. actually, these are coming up, and I'm going to have to replace them. See, that one's already coming up. So I'm going to deconstruct this page and redo it over again. And so the glue, and I also tried using double stick tape. Let me see if I can find the notebook that I used. Where are you, notebook? I was actually using like a binder, and I don't know what I did with it though. But I tried using the double stick tape, and the double stick tape came up real quick. So the one that I used that worked for me is the Aleene's Tacky Glue. I used the Aleene's Tacky Glue, and that's been working perfectly so far. But again, this book is 1 day old. It's just 1 day old only, and I'm telling you, I barely waited until the glue dried before I started putting stuff in here because I was so excited, y'all. Couldn't help myself. So that's another thing I learned is you have to use the right glue. So if you're taking notes, actually what I'll do is I'll put some notes over on the Patreon page. And so if you all are interested, you can go over there to the Patreon page because this video will be over there as well. And I'll put like a few notes over there that maybe can help you out with some of the measurements and stuff like that. And it'll be easy to find because everything is like in categories. So if you go to the tag for ephemera, you'll find all the ephemera videos. Okay. So that's basically the construction. And then some elements that I wanted to put in here. I didn't want to do like a whole bunch of fold outs because this is a book and not like a folio. So what a folio is basically, it's like an unbound folder. It's what a folio is. But I want all my stuff in the same place because y'all know, again, I'm an overachiever. So I went crazy with it. And I don't know, my poor spine may suffer from it, but it'll be all right. It'll live. It's going to be a book for my I Want to Live collection. Excuse me. So we got the vellum. We know that these little fold outs really don't serve a purpose. And this page right here, I put a pocket at the bottom. And then what I did, I went back in and I put a band on here because what was happening, I put these in here and they were kind of flopping all over the place. So using this paper clip actually isn't holding anything. I put it there to keep everything in place because, before the paint dried, I was putting stuff in here and I didn't want it to come up. But I used the Aleene's Tacky Glue and that worked perfectly. So Lynn says that she watched someone else's video the other day and they used the Tombow glue in the green and the white bottle for theirs. So I don't have any Tombow glue. I just had like the aqua glue. I don't know. Oh, actually that is the Tombow glue. It didn't stick for me. Maybe because I was putting things in before it dried. No, actually that page was dry. It could be because this is a calendar and it has kind of like that waxy kind of surface on it. Maybe that's what it was. And I know the cardstock things can kind of soak in, so maybe that's what it was. But I could tell you though, the Aleene's is, and you can't really see the Aleene's. So I can show you on this page. I'm just gonna bring the book up some. Let me get my focus, y'all. Let me get my focus going here for you. If I can. I can't see. Where's my glasses at? Oh, Lord, have mercy. Okay, let's see. Oh, my glasses are dirty, too. This is just not very helpful. But, let me try to bring this down. That'd be better than holding it. Okay. So I don't know if you all can see. Let me make sure. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up, y'all. I don't even have my focus going on here. Hold up. All right, here we go. Now, Technical difficulties, police. Okay, so I don't know if you can see on the side. You can barely see where I put the glue at. I thought it was going to be like white, and it's not. And it did bubble up just a smidge. So, but this book is like for myself, so I don't really like, I didn't really care. So I put just enough glue around the pockets to make sure it stays. And you can see that's not coming up. It's not going to come up. So that's great. And so we have the vellum. We know this little piece didn't do anything. We got the belly band to hold in the long pieces that you put in. And then I'll leave this down. I also made like some tabs. I started making tabs. So you can see here's some of the tabs right here. Here's one. Here's another one. Excuse me. And my way of thinking was, before I saw how much room everything takes up, I was like, I'm going to have a lot of stuff in here. And it would be great if I had some tabs and I can put the names of the collections on the tabs. Well, this is what had happened in my brain. In the land of ideas, I said to myself, if you put these names on these tabs and you have to move stuff around, which I already know I'm going to be moving things around, then what are you going to do? I'll either have to write over the tab, replace the tab, or something like that. So what I did was, instead of writing on the tab, I decided not to write on the tab, just make some pretty tabs like this one, and use a ball pen and some little squares. I'll show you. I got these little plastic squares, and these are actually up in the shop as well, because you can write on them, you can paint on them, and I have like tons of these things. And so I decided to use these kind of like a little bit of a charm. And of course this will probably evolve, but I just took like some of my Sharpie markers and I just wrote what's on this page. And I figure if I move things around, all I have to do is detach the tab and move the tab to the new location of the items. So that was my way of thinking. So I think the tabs are going to be probably like the funnest part. It's going to be the funnest part of this journal for me. So that's going to make me happy. Those tabs. All right. Now, like I said, this is taking up so much space, and I was thinking by the time I get done, let's see, how far are we into this one? So this is the center of the first signature, and you can see how much space that's taking up. And I still have a few pages in the second part of the first signature. So I haven't even started on the second signature. Look at that. So like I said, I'm either going to have to take it out or not worry about how big it gets. So as I think it was Roberta or Katia was talking about the alligator style, the alligator mouth journals, and what they meant by that, and I can't remember who told me. They meant it's like always open, basically, like this. And I always say mine are like dinosaur mouths, because they're always big when I get finished with them anyway. But I figure I could use this like in an accordion style as well. I could even leave this laying out on the desk like this, and then I could just flip through the pages that I need. And I think I would like that as well, and still be able to, probably when I get done, I'll probably be able to close it about that much. But I can always change the strings and make them longer as well. And another thing I will say about the construction of this, remember I said this is like a poorly made journal cover, because it was never intended for journal use. But one thing I like about it is the cover is soft. Both the front and the back are soft, and even the spine is not really rigid. And I think that makes it better, because it almost kind of has like that wrap kind of feel. It has some give, basically. So, man, y'all, I'm sorry with all this throat clearing. So, All right, so let's do some stuff because I think I have talked quite enough, but I wanted to kind of give you all an idea of just what's inside of here. And again, I'll put a few notes over on the Patreon page and it'll be public, so you don't have to worry. If you don't want to be a patron, you don't have to. I'll make it public so you can see that. All right, so the first thing I wanted to do is I have some stamps that I want to put in here. This is one of the main reasons why I got this, because I have these stamps, my little stamp collection here, and I want to put the stamps inside of the book. So I decided, since I kind of was using like a different size vellum on here, that I have, where are you? That's in the second signature here. I did a test. So it's hard to see because the vellum is so clear, which is nice. Which I definitely would recommend using vellum if you can. I already had some here because it's clear and you can see through it. So that's nice when you're going in your book. You'll be able to see what you're pulling out. So I did a little bit of a test on the size to see how my stamps would look inside of these. So, and I like this size. So these are like the average size, and this one is kind of a vertical stamp, Nevada stamp. So it can go in like that. So I know I'm gonna need a bunch of pages for the stamps, and even like smaller ephemera would fit in these as well. So instead of doing a few different sizes, I decided to just do this size right here. So my book itself is 6 by, I think it's 6 by 9. Let's see. Yep, 9 by 6. So I cut my vellum 5 1/4 across, because another thing that you don't want to do with your book is you don't want to have too much close to the spine. So I made sure that I left a little bit of room here in the spine. Oh, let me get Mr. Focus wants to go crazy. I left some room so that it won't, it won't be even fatter. It won't add bulk. So if that makes sense. So let me put this over to the side, and I have some vellum here. Okay, these were actually 8.5 by 11 pieces of vellum, and I cut them in half, and I cut them down to 5 1/4 pieces. So I didn't do any measurements before I came on, y'all. This is kind of like on the fly, but I thought y'all would like this. So this is about, it must have been scrap, but I'm going to do these in about 1-inch strips. Let me see if I can do 1-inch strips with Big Mama. Let's get Big Mama out. And we don't have to unfold Big Mama, which is a good thing, because the ecosystem is a little cray-cray. And I love this. I love this cutter, because I can cut a whole bunch of these papers at the same time, but I'm not going to press my luck too much. And this is vellum, so it's pretty thin, so I'm going to cut like 4 sheets at a time. And then that'll help me to quickly get through this. Make sure my lights are correct. So if you all have any questions, let me know. And you know what? I didn't even ask, how is everybody doing today? How are you all doing today? How was your weekend? Our weekend was a pretty quiet weekend, except for I was dreaming about this folio on Sunday, and I got up and I started working on it, and I was like in a frenzy. I was going crazy. I felt like I had to finish that thing. I don't know why. I need to name it something. Because she's marvelous. I'm loving it so far. I haven't had to pick anything out of it yet, but I know I'm going to love it. I just like looking at it. So I like flipping through the pages. So I hope the pages last. So I'm going to do this whole thing in 1-inch strips. This is just 4 pages cut down to 5¼ inches. Lynn says that her next project is to work on some faux stamps because she's been watching a lot on YouTube, and I've seen them a lot on YouTube as well. Because you all probably follow a lot of the same people that I follow on YouTube, so I've seen lots of the faux stamps as well, and that's something I would like to try also. It looks pretty cool. And the nice thing is, everyone that I watch, they all have like their own takes on how the faux stamp should be done. And that's the beauty of junk journaling, because it's like you never really are copying anybody else's work. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Because it's like you can put your own spin on it, and it's like something unique and new. Oh, I hope everything's okay, Tamika. We want our junk journal buddies to be healthy and well. Alright, so now these little pieces, they're too small, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually toss them. I'm going to toss them away, because at some point in our crafting hoarder career, because it's like a career, y'all, you got to get rid of some stuff. You got to get rid of some stuff. The weekend was awesome here too. I quite enjoyed. Okay. Also, for the stamps, you all, if you can purchase stamps like on Etsy and things, but you can also go through your junk mail and collect stamps. Now, this piece of junk mail came today, and look how beautiful those stamps are. Don't think I'm not going to rip those off and keep them before I toss this piece. This was junk mail. Somebody asking me if I wanted to be rich, basically. I was like, yeah, but I don't think you can help me like that. Oh, another tip is you might want to do all your vellum and stuff before you start stuffing your book, because you see, we got some stuffing issues here, but I don't really care. I like it. Okay. It's actually, for me, it's still not that big of a deal that's like this, because everything is kind of flexible, so it's still easy to work with. But let me put this here, because I really don't have a clip that I can put on here that will hold this down, because it's just too fat already. So I'm just going to take, yeah, I put a pin in here, but the top couldn't stay on here. Who told me to use it and this top would close? Because my top did not close. But it's okay, I forgive you for telling me that, whoever told me. Alright, so I'm just going to use, and I actually didn't put like a lot of glue on here, but I tried to get close to the edge, but it was no big deal if it wasn't like right at the edge. And of course you want to do it like you're doing a pocket. And I don't know, I think I got a little sinus thing going today. That's why I'm coughing. Alright. So, and you probably don't need it to be all gloppy like I have mine's all gloppy. Hold up. Let me put my pen over here. Now my fingers got glue all on them. Okay. And I already have one down here. And you can put these close to each other too, as long as you don't overlap the pockets. And you have to watch it when you first put the glue on it too. I don't know if anybody else told you, but that vellum, once it gets wet, it has like some wetness to it. It'll start not unraveling, but it'll start crinkling up, and the ends will fold up, and sometimes they'll lift off the pages. So just keep your eyes on it when you first put your glue on it, so you won't have that issue. Let me put these on this side. So I got a whole bunch of these I can use, but I have a whole bunch of stamps too. Let's see. All right. Did you all enjoy Saturday's surprise video? I was happy to come on. I was excited too. I said I'm gonna go on live because I haven't been on the weekend in a while, and I had some time, so I spent it with my junk journal buddies. That's how much I love y'all. I told my family, leave me alone. I'm busy. I want to be with my junk journal buddies. So these go down pretty easy, but I'm gonna tell you, this is a tedious freaking job. So what I did, because I'm the type of person, I get bored easy when I'm doing stuff like this, especially if it's something repetitive and I have to do it a lot. A lot of it, what I'll do is, like, I had this sitting on my desk and I would go like cook dinner and I would come back and then I would do 2 pages of vellum, and then I would leave it and I would go do something else, and I would come back and I would do a couple of pages of vellum, because it's a lot of freaking pages to put vellum on. A lot of vellum too. So just keep that in mind. You don't have to use vellum. You could use your cardstock, but the vellum makes it really easy to see. It makes it easy to see what's behind it, especially if you make your vellum big, which I don't think I'm going to have any big pockets in mine. I like the sizes of the pockets. I've seen people, they have like really huge pockets, and so you have to do what kind of works for you. Yeah, that's how I am. If I have to do like too much of this, like, it's fun and what I would like for it to be done, and then I could just fill it up. That's what I want to do. So I'm going to put some stamps in here. I'm going to let it dry a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and start putting the stamps in, because that's how I roll. Because actually, I don't know if it's just the Aleene's tacky glue, but I actually feel like I didn't have to wait that long before I could start like really using things. And so, I have a lot of ephemera, so this helps out a lot. Now, I've showed you all in the past how I stored, just a little bit, I showed you how I stored my ephemera. I put them in like these pockets, or folders or plastic pocket things I got from the dollar store, and that's great for holding things, and I labeled them and everything. But when you have like little bitty pieces, it's still a bit problematic to find what you're looking for. I wouldn't say it's problematic, it just takes you longer, but so I can see how I'm really going to enjoy using this. See, I don't know if y'all can see right here. See how it's coming up? Oops, move out the way. See how it's coming up? It's popping up. I don't know if y'all can see that. Right here in the corner. That's why I say when you first put the glue down, you have to kind of watch it a little bit and just rub it back down. It's like the paper is trying to get away. You're like, no, you're not getting away. You stay on there. And then after a few moments, it'll stop doing that. So you just got to keep your eye on it. That's with the Aleene's. I don't know how the other glues work. It actually, when I used the Tombow glue, it did the same thing. I had to keep my eye on it. I'm glad you all enjoyed the video on Saturday. That was fun. I always have fun though. On every video. Even if nobody's talking to me, I'm having fun. Because, life's too short. You just got to have fun. Alright. And this is my first page doing all of these. Doing this many levels or sections or pockets or whatever you want to call it. I think I'm going to like it because I have some small pieces, like my little Scrabble pieces, which are the digital kit that's up in the shop. I want to, I usually just pick out some pieces and then just use them. But now I can be more meaningful with the pieces I pick out and actually spell something. because I don't have to go digging for anything. So this setup here would be probably great for that. So I'm going to do one more side here. So there's a lot of gluing in here. And y'all don't go nowhere because I still have some pieces of the construction I would like to share with you. I almost forgot some of the important pieces. And I am going to be moving some stuff around too here. Okay, so I'm going to start down here at the bottom. I just feel like it's easier to start at the bottom. And again, I'm making sure that there's a little bit of space on where the spine is at. Otherwise, because you want things to be further out, because the spine, things will just get bulky otherwise. Yep, Penny, this is going to be for storage only. This is like for my storage only. And I think I'm going to love it. I'm going to love just having it on my desk or around my desk someplace, because there's a lot of stuff on my desk. I can't keep everything on the desk. I would like to keep everything on the desk. If I organize better, I probably could keep some things on my desk, but the land of ideas is killing me. It makes me have too much stuff on my desk. I have to tell myself, like, if I'm cleaning up, I'll be like, oh, this project's not finished. Oh, I can do this. Oh, I can do that. And then I have to tell myself, stop. Don't pull anything else out, because you're already working on something and you're just going to make a mess. And y'all know what? I cleaned my floor up today. I cleaned it up enough where I could sweep up all the paper that was on here. I was so happy. But there's some stuff back on the floor again, because the stuff that some of the stuff I had on the floor ended up on the desk, and then when I had to do the live stream, it ended up back on the floor. But I'm still proud of myself nonetheless. Because I always say my craft space is a very fluid, so things get moved around. All right. And y'all can see how come I'll just do a few of these pages, because this is not a fast process, but it is a good TV time activity, because I could just like watch a video or something while I'm doing this and just chill. And I'm so satisfied when I get to stick things in. Takes me to my happy place. You know what? I should have like maybe a wet rag to get some of the glue up, but I'm not really making that big of a mess. Hey, Laureline, how are you doing today? Y'all, this is very easy to make, and you could definitely make this with scraps, because I'm telling you, I just pulled out a notepad that I hardly ever use. It's not that I don't like it, but I hardly ever use it, so I just had to tell myself, don't look at the pages, just pull them out. And I just pulled out pages. I knew I wanted to put like 7 pages in each signature, so I pulled out 21 pages and cut them up real quick before I changed my mind, because y'all know how we do with that too. First of all, the floor is always messed up in the craft room. Second of all, it takes us forever to pick things out, because we want to hoard everything. Hoarding is like our friend, and they don't need to be. It's a friend that we need to get rid of. Hoarding is bad, but it feels so good. Oh, you've been watching videos. Boo Boo Kitty says that they have been watching lots of videos on how to make pockets and flaps. Funny you should mention that. That's all I'm saying about that for the moment. Let's see. Now I'm trying to read at the same time. So Boo Boo Kitty said that she started journaling the other day, the first one, and it's like you without makeup, ugly and scary. You know what? It's probably not as scary as you think it is, or ugly. Because I was thinking, when I put this I call it a monstrosity, because really, that's what it was. But then I started looking at it, and I started finding the beauty in it. I was like, oh, this is a beautiful journal. I like it. Even though it's not really a journal, it's like for the ephemera, but it's my junk journal ephemera journal kind of thing. I don't know. There's not really any writing in it, but I was like, it's kind of beautiful. I kind of learned to like it. It didn't take me but like 5 minutes. Y'all, this is such a good idea for storage. It is, because just being able to see things at a glance, you know what that means in our crafting room. That means we're going to use it. Because I have a lot of ephemera that I've been running across because I forgot I had it. Because they've been like in boxes or containers and stuff, and you can't see it. Especially these little bitty pieces, of course. They're like all over the place, all over my desk, on the floor, in boxes, in containers, in different rooms, on the dining room table, on the desk, up under the desk, in drawers, whatever, you name it. It's a little cray cray. You laughing at me? My brother is laughing at me because I said it's cray cray. That's a good idea, Michelle. Michelle says she has her ephemera like stored in clear boxes, and I do have some things I just started putting in the clear boxes, and I'm just forever trying to figure out my storage. It's kind of crazy. I'm getting ready to shake things up in this room with the help of my brother. He don't know it yet. I'm just telling him right now. I'm gonna be needing to move some stuff around. But not right now though. Get ready for it. Alright, so you can see I left some space here at the top. And you all will see why I left the space at the top too. Thank you, Boo Boo Kitty. You probably have at least like 60% of my creativity. Trust me, all you got to do is just start going, and then it's all good, and it's not cray cray. Okay, so I'm gonna let these sit. I'm just kind of watching this for a moment because it is trying to like curl up on me, and I'm not gonna let it get away from me. See, these pages are all ready. Oh, these are ready. Like, see, this is like on this side. I can feel the coolness of it. That's how I know. I can feel the coolness of the glue. So I know it's not dry all the way, but let's put a few stamps in. Because, ain't nothing like seeing. I know these at the bottom are done. And what I think I would like to do is like color code them. But I can go back and do that later. That's how, this is going to be a fun book because it's going to, just like the craft room, it's going to be very fluid, you all. I like that. I can move stuff around and then make it all nice and pretty. I always say like part of the crafting allure for me is the organization part. And it's not that I'm like an organizing buff or anything like that, but I enjoy doing it in the craft room. So this is like part of that organization, and it's just very satisfying when you find like a system that works good for you. So I don't know if this system is going to work for me or not, but I feel like it is at this time. Like we always do. Isn't that cool? Look at that. See how that page is coming together? Ooh, Michelle says she has a shelf that's dedicated to ephemera. That's awesome. I thought about doing like a whole bunch of extra books. Sorry, y'all. I was just looking at something. I was thought about doing like a whole bunch of extra books, and I decided that I'm gonna try to get as much ephemera in one book as I can. so I won't have to rifle through books. But I know over time, because, you know, we've been making ephemera together like crazy, so you know what that means. That means I'm going to need more storage. And I'm going to like it. I like my storage. I'm going to love it. I love these stamps. Y'all know what? I hardly use my stamps. You know why? They were in a clear shoebox. This is what I've been keeping it in a clear shoebox, and still never use my stamps. See what I mean? But if they're in the book, though, I'm gonna use them. I like the way they look just in the book, and these are like perfect. Woo-hoo. I'm excited. Like, I want more stamps. Now I can see like getting a book just for stamps. That would be cool. But then, you know what? That will probably mean I have too many stamps because I need to use what I have. I have to think about that too, because, you know, space is limited in this joint. I probably have more space than most when it comes to crafting, but it's still limited because, like, I have in the room that I am, it's a huge room, but I only get to have half of it. I only get to have half the room. So the other half is used for my other business ventures. So I actually don't even have all my craft stuff stored in here. It has to go in another room. I wish I had everything together, but I don't. Because especially when it comes like to the vintage books and stuff, you know, you just have too many books. You got to store your books other places. All right. Let's see. I'm just gonna do a few more of these. I'm not gonna go all ham on these stamps, but because I want to show you all a few other things. So I'm just gonna stop there so you can see. And the good thing about this is, the first thing you might be thinking is that they're gonna fall out. Well, for one thing, this book is not going anywhere, so I'm not gonna have it. It's not gonna be like crazy, moving it all over the house or anything. It'll probably just be in this area. And also, when I put the vellum down, the vellum stays tight. It doesn't have a lot of give in it, like a fabric would have. If I did this with like fabric, then the fabric would have some give. So when you put things in it and you take it out, then it probably would be stretched. And I don't think the vellum is like that. I don't think, but remember, this is day one of this book. So as I use it, I'll probably give you all some updates on it. Okay, so actually I had kept some of the pieces of vellum back here that I can use for those too. All right, so now let's do something different. Because, you know, we're doing that repetitive action and I can get bored real quick, even though I'm talking with you all. Thank you, Michelle. Thanks everybody. Yeah, it's so easy to see everything. And you can't barely even see the vellum in there, right? Once you put your items in, you can barely see it. Yeah, real estate is it's a thing, isn't it? It's a thing in here. I'm always like trying to and I am, y'all have no idea, I'm good at making space for stuff. Like, I didn't think I had space, and I bring something in, I will make a space for something that I want. Yeah, I have enough stamps. Because I only put a few in here and I still have a bunch in here, which is kind of cool. And I don't plan on getting any more stamps from that, not for myself, until I use these, because I actually have had these for a while and I may have used like 3 of them. You probably can never have too much. You can never have too much of anything. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to show you all. Okay, so I talked about like things may fall out, right? Even if I handled this book kind of gently, I still found that things kind of shifted. Like, here's some stuff that's kind of shifting on this page. And I was thinking, man, I don't want this stuff to come out. Now, this page is kind of rickety anyway, because I have to redo. These pockets are just, They're, So, And because this particular flap, it really didn't serve a purpose. I didn't know what, I just didn't want to get rid of that piece because I thought maybe I could use it, but I didn't know what I want to do with it. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to attach it on here. And what I'm going to do to keep everything from falling out, I'm actually going to put a piece of vellum over each page. And so I had to figure out how I can do that. I can still see through it with the vellum on there because I know what's behind there. So, you know, it doesn't have to be super clear, but it's pretty clear. And I still wanted to have like easy access to the things that's behind it. So in this case, I decided that I'm going to attach, and I'm probably do this off camera because I haven't really figured out how I'm going to attach this just yet. I'm sure it's going to be with some glue, and I may go on this side and do it this way. Because at this point, I can't really sew it on, right? Because we have everything attached and I already started filling the book up. Because y'all know, I would sew this piece and there still might be some sewing involved. But so for the pages that have flaps like this, I'm going to attach the vellum and then you'll be able to open it, get what you want, put it back, and then to keep it kind of closed, I will just put a paper clip at the top and a paper clip at the bottom. So so then these pages that don't have the flap, I decided that I can put the flap like at the top, and then I could just go in, get what I want out, and close it. But what had happened is, remember I told you I put that top pocket too close to the top. So I figure if I glued this on, I won't be able to access that top pocket. So then I had to get really creative. So I'm going to show y'all what I came up with. Aren't my letters? They look so beautiful, don't they? And they're all nice and neat, and it's nice. The pockets are still nice and tight, so stuff is not really shifting around, so that's a plus. So this is what I did. So on these pages, I just have a paper clip holding them at the bottom, and I can lift this up, and I can go in here and get things out. And these are my clusters that I made. We made the clusters together. They're so beautiful. I love these clusters. They look even more beautifuler inside these pockets. So all I have to do is just lift this up, get what I want out, put this back, and I'll probably use more than one paper clip because it's not going to hurt anything. You said probably glue the bottom. Hey, Boo Boo Kitty, I didn't even think about that. I did not even think about that. You know what? That's pretty good. See? I got an idea. I never thought about putting the vellum at the bottom because I was thinking in one way. That's pretty cool. Because you could put it at the bottom and then you could just paper clip the top, and that would be fine too. That's probably even better, but I'm going to show you something else that I did, which will be another option, but I think I'm going to use your idea because I like that to do the bottom. Okay, but anyway, let me show you what I did do. Now I'm all excited because I want to try to do it at the bottom. Okay, so this page is the same way. So you just lift it up and you can pull things out. But this one, there is another pocket up here, but it's unusable the way that I did this. But if I use Boo Boo Kitty's idea, I would have been able to use that top pocket. See, you learn something every day. That's why I hang out with you all. So also, you notice that they're sewing at the top, but that's kind of like faux sewing. I cheated, y'all. I sewed on the vellum and then I glued it down because I wanted to have that sewing look. Let's see. Y'all can see the sewing on there. Hold on. Y'all know I have to fix the focus. You know me and the focus. And it's probably not going to focus with this vellum. Hold up. I got to manually do some things. Oh, I guess that's the best it's gonna get. But so you can see here on this page, there's actually a pocket here, and I couldn't use the pocket because I glued this down. So this was all kind of an experiment. It's like you don't know what you don't know until you start using it. And again, this is a faux one as well. I just sewed it in and I glued it on. And there's a pocket up here too that I couldn't use. But if I would have used Boo Boo Kitty's idea, I could have used it. Yeah. And then I just took a paper clip. Let me make sure Mr. Focus is back. Hold on, y'all. I got the camera kind of wonky. Let me get y'all straight so things won't be too crazy. Okay, here we go. So this was a paper clip that I made for the bottom of the page. Or the side. I could use this on the side too. But it's going to go for the bottom right now. But what I would do is use like a paper clip on the side and one on the top. And that way things should be fine. They won't fall out. So even if you drop the book, things might come loose a little bit. But if you have like the flaps, I think it will be good. And I think the vellum is thin enough that it won't add a lot of bulk. So here's another one. Now this was the second idea that I had because I didn't think about Boo Boo Kitty's idea. And so this can be an option too. So, and you can see the paper is a little bit shorter, but it still covers everything. This was I glued it a little wonky, but. And so this one I was able to use. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets. And I was able to use the top pocket in this because what I did was, there's actually one on this side, one on that side. And what I did, which now that I have that other idea, I'm going to try that because I think it'll work out better. I folded this, I scored it and I folded it. And I scored this one and I folded it. And then I overlapped them together. So I'm trying not to do it because I don't want to waste the paper. But it's basically folded and sewn like this. And then it's like on the paper. Like, I know I'm not making a bit of sense. I'm not making a bit of sense. But it's basically it's overlapped like this. And then I was able to open it all the way up because it's actually latched on the other side. And then this one, I don't know if this really worked out or not. Oh yeah. And see on this side, you can see the stitching on that side. You lift it up and you can still use the top. So that's another option that you can do. But I like the bottom one the best. So that's probably what I'm going to do. So let's do like a few. And I think like for the ones that have a lot of room up here, I'll still put it at the top. And the ones where I don't, then I will put them at the bottom. So this is how I make the simple flap. I'm gonna get my sewing machine out, and I put pink thread in it because I don't know. I just felt pink, so I put pink in for this book, even though it does have some pink, but it really wasn't a deciding factor. So I just took one of my pages, and I think this is 9 by 5 1/4 to cover everything. So it depends on your book how you do it. And I'm just going to use a zigzag stitch. So I'm not going to move the camera because it's only going to take me a second to do this. And I just did, the stitching is purely cosmetic. It's not holding anything on, but it could if you want to get fancy like that. I need some scissors. So I think my scissors are in the box. And I did leave a little bit of a thread because I like a little bit of threadage. So it's just a zigzag stitch, hard to see, with pink thread. And oh, no, thank you, Boo Boo Kitty, thank you. You saved my life in this book. All right, so let's go to one like this one right here. See this one? These are like too close. Too close up here at the top. So now, if I do it this way, the only thing is, well, this is going to get moved anyway. So I'm going to change it. I had this all the way up to the top. I actually cut down. Yes, let's be more realistic, because now we know we won't put our stuff this far up to the top next time. But like this page, and these have been shifting the whole time that I've been in here. I've been putting them back, because there's some larger pieces, which I'm probably going to take some of these. I don't want larger pieces in here, so I'll take those out. Let's do this side. So I'm going to put this at the bottom, because that was a fantastic idea. What brand of glue stick do you like? I just use, when it comes to a glue stick, I just use the Elmer's glue stick right now. Nothing fancy. That's what I got, and it works good. I use the purple glue because I like that, because you can see what you're putting down. So that's the glue stick that I'm using now. But I would like to experiment with some of the other glues that I've seen some of the other crafters use. So you'll probably be seeing that soon, but I still have plenty of glue right now, so I don't really stock up on my glues and stuff, hence I need to pick up some. Yeah, I like the purple one. I'll show you, because I have it close to me, so I want to make sure this is all the way up at the top. And then, again, you got to babysit this a little bit if you're using the Aleene's like I am, or a wet type of glue, because it does like to fold up. So I just keep on sticking it to the sticking, and make sure it stays down. And I'll just give it like a few minutes until it gives up and it submits to my will of staying on the page. Oh, you're gonna watch on TV? Ooh, tell me how I look. Tell me how my hands look on the TV. All right, let me get a paper clip. Okay, so now, this excellent idea. So now I can access everything. This is so much better. I almost feel like an idiot that I didn't think of that. But that's awesome. See? You made this live stream so much better, Boo Boo Kitty. You made it so much better. I'm so happy. I'm serious. This makes me happy. I think it's going to work out better because it just flows better over the page this way. And then I'll just put, of course y'all know I'm going to zhuzh up the paper clips, but right now we're just using regular paper clips. And that will keep it on. Just a regular old paper clip. Yeah, I like that. That's quite nice. That makes me feel good. Okay. So this is the purple glue. It's just school glue that I've been using, but it sticks. But I will say you got to watch out for the glue sticks that you buy, especially Elmer's, because they all kind of look the same, but they're not the same. The school glue works good, but then there's some that's repositioning glue. I think I have some repositioning glue, and I was using it for a long time. And I was like, man, I see everybody using this school glue. And this stuff is sticking really good, and the stuff was not sticking, and that's because it was repositionable. So you just got to read. So purple, what I mean by purple is that, and what happens is when you put it down, it's purple, and then as it dries, you can see right on the camera, it dries clear. So you put it down, it's purple. And the purple disappears immediately almost because this dries. That goes to show you how fast the sticks dry. All right, so put that on the side. All right, so that's how we did our flap. So let's go. Okay, so we're already over hour. So I want to show y'all one more thing, and that's the tabs, how I did my tabs. Because I think the tabs are going to be one of the most enjoyable things that I have on here, because they're very easy to make, for one thing. And Palmolive. I think it was Palmolive. That's what it was. I used to actually, I love commercials. I don't know what it is. See, y'all, this is coming up. See, this was poorly constructed. This was with the Tombow glue. See, the stuff is like falling through. So I gotta fix that. But I'm not gonna fix it right now. All right, so we're gonna look at do the tabs. So let's move this out the way. Actually, I need that. I just kind of had that stashed in there. Okay. We still have all of these that we can use for our stamps. So I'll be doing this while I'm watching the telly tonight. Okay, I did, and this can be done with your scraps. And I probably won't put fabric in here because I was kind of enjoying doing the scraps. And I made some tabs up already. And I did not have a tab, my tab punch, y'all. I have a tab punch. Yeah, I was so excited to get this tab punch, and some of you all might have it. And it worked. I only had it for a few days, and it was working, and now it's kind of getting stuck. And good thing, even without any paper, but if I put some paper in it, it won't punch. So I was really disappointed about that. So it's going back. I already put in a return on I got this on Amazon, and I put a return in, and they already sent the new one out. I just got to take this and send it back. But I was like, dag nabbit, I've been wanting this punch since the beginning of time, and the dang on thing doesn't want to work. I'm just trying to put this back on here. I already got rid of the packaging and everything, but I'm sending it back without the packaging. I don't care. It's defective. Yep, Madge. I remember Madge. Okay, so here are some of these, and let me see if I can find some paper to use on here. And you know what? You don't even need like a thick piece of paper because I'm doubling it up anyway. I wonder how these work. I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to get some that has some color at least for this job. I think I could probably use some of the H paper as well. Yeah, no, I got my little scrap bin next to me. I can use that. Hey, I was looking for y'all. You guys don't belong in here. I can use some of that. So whatever little scraps you have, you can use. I'm gonna make a few tabs. Okay, anywho. Let's put that over to the side. So what I did, since my tab punch didn't work, is I just made me some tabs, which is pretty easy. I just wanted to make them kind of like the same width. So I just took my paper and I folded it. Y'all see I'm not really doing any measurements. I just want it to be just a little bit of the same. And then, so I'm just going to make a bunch out of this one. So I'm just going to fold it. I'm kind of like accordion folding it. Just to get some done really quick. I'm concentrating. I'm concentrating on the tab. Come on, little thing. Come on. All right. To the last one. So they don't even have to be perfect. And then, so it looks something like that. So, oh, fine. So now For my tabs, I wanted to fold over. So I'll show you what I mean. So it'll hit the front and the back of the paper. So it'll be like this. So when I cut it, oh, I hear you, Livies. It's like you get on a roll, right? Like a mad woman. All right, so I'm just looking at my little accordion to make sure that I cut them correctly. So now when you cut it, it just kind of like, it's like a little mini folder. And it doesn't have to be perfect because you can like shave some edges off if you need to. So you can use these tabs for anything, basically. Not just for your ephemera book. All right, now cut this little piece off of here. Of course, I'm on way longer than it was going to be. So this one's a little bit shorter than I would like, but because I cut it too much, I went a little crazy. Okay, cut this little piece off of here, and this one, I probably won't use the other one. It's a little bit shorter than I want it to be. Okay, and then the next thing that I did, let's move all this stuff out the way. I'm just going to show you with the pink one. Y'all sit over there. The next thing that I did was, oh, that's a lot of gear here. I got these from the dollar store. I don't even know when I got them because they don't have them all the time. And these are the reinforcement, the whole reinforcements. And how many come in this? Quite a few came in here. So, and of course I wasn't using them, and I said, let me use them. So what I did was I took my vintage photo and I just went over these with the brown one, and I had some green vintage photo, and I got like purple and blue or whatever. So I don't have any pink, and I don't have anything that kind of matches with the pink. So I'm going to use, I don't even know what I was going to use the green for. I think I was going to use it for the map, and I ended up using the brown. Such a poo-poo head sometimes. So first I'm going to use the brown one on this as well. And maybe I'll use a green one too. So the first thing I did was I put the reinforcement on. And yep, there's no hole yet. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot one piece. I want to round some corners. So you see how we have like the part that is connected, that's the part that I'm around the corner on, and I'm using my We Are Memory Keepers corner puncher at 1/4 of an inch. And let me see. In here, I rounded, on this one, I only rounded like these two corners, and this corner I left straight. But on this one, I was experimenting, and I did all 4 corners, and I like that look too. So you have to experiment to figure out what you like. So I'm going to leave this like this, and I'm just going to put this where I want it. You could put some more extra glue on it too if you think it's not going to stick. So it's going to be like that. And then the next thing I want to do is I'm taking my We Are Memory Keepers, for the eyelet hole thingy. And I'm going to use the biggest one, which is the 3/16, the biggest hole. And punch it. But I found that the holes, try to get y'all closer, because I know y'all can't see what the heck I'm doing. There we go. Alright, so the hole, you can see, is not quite punched out all the way because these reinforcers are kind of big. So I don't have a punch that will get that. So I'll just keep punching it until I punch enough of that piece out that I'm satisfied with. Okay, so I'm satisfied with that. It looks a little rough, but that's okay. And then, oh, I have to keep moving stuff around. Hold on, y'all. Hey, I'm missing one of my vintage photos. Where's my vintage photo? Here it is. I'm going to use this one. It's actually darker than the vintage photo. I think that's the linen. I think that's the linen one. Antique linen. All right, using one of my doohickeys here. And let's see. Now just go around the edges. Because they just don't have a finished look when you don't put anything around it. You probably could use like regular ink as well, but you know how we do it. We're Tim Holtz people. So I'm going to get another one of these and put it on the back. And that's just going to be my reinforcement. And this paper is pretty thin, but I think it will do fine with the reinforcements. And that's my tab. And so I do all my tabs like that. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is move some of this stuff out the way, because we're not going to have time to like just tab it up. But I'm going to show you. Let's open up our little book. Let's go inside. It looks like the doctor said. It does not. Okay, so I'm going to just stick it here. Let's put the pink one here on this one. So I need a lot of stuff on my desk. It's the Singing Crafter. I bet you there's a channel that's the Singing Crafter. What y'all think? I'm just using like a tape runner. So you can use glue for this. You can use a tape runner for this as well. So I'm just going to use my tape runner. And the tape runner works well too, if you have a good tape runner. Try to use it without ripping the paper off. This one is kind of acting funky, of course. You know how it is when you get on live stream. And I'm going to need to put it on both sides because it's going to be on the front and the back of the paper, so they won't be sticking all the way together. Probably should have just used some glue. Alright, it's kind of messy. Might be just the tape run is kind of cheap, I have to say. Alright, so it is sticking like nobody's business though. Alright. So I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to use a little discretion when lining them up. And I'll just put it on here. Of course, you don't want to cover the hole up in here. And then just fold it over. Wha-pam. It's not really hindering anything because your pockets are glued like right here. So it's just over the glue. And that's going to do fine. And then the next thing I did was I took a little ball pen and stuck it in here for now, because that's where my label is going to be. Now I'm going to show you how to do the label. Alright, so that's ready for the label. So let's do a label. Let's see what's there. Right now, sorry. Okay, so again, I use like these little squares. They're like these little plastic squares. And I actually have these up. You can buy like a poop load of these over in the shop at Pleasant Creations. and I use them often for mixed media because you can paint on them. They actually accept paint really well. Yeah, the pens are awesome. I'm actually going to have the pens up. They're not up in the shop just yet, but I'll have some of those up. And okay. And I took out my Sharpie markers. I love these markers. Gotta get them out because I shoved them in here. Okay. I took out my Sharpies because I have lots of colors in the Sharpies. I love them. And what I decided to do is, my labeling is a little color coded, so I'm not going to go over all the color coding, but let me see what I'm going to put here. I'm just going to kind of go with what I had before. I think I was using this one. So I just made me like a little outline. Oh, let's bring you guys back in, or ladies, or whoever is watching. Let's bring you back in so you can see. I'm trying to focus. It's not focusing because it doesn't really have anything. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I tried like using some ink to go around the sides, and I just kind of made like a hot mess. So I said, you know what? Let's do like some little doodly, scribbly stuff. I'm trying to keep my hand out the way. And it dries pretty fast, so I don't have to worry about sticking my hand in smears. I tried using like some alcohol pens to do this. It's not going to work. It's going to smear like crazy. Okay. And I'm just going to write on here. Use a different color. I'm just picking some colors. So I have a million of these things for real. For real though. Yeah, don't say nothing about my handwriting either. I just put leaves doodle, which I didn't really mean to do, but, and I'm going to do the back as well. I just want to make sure it's dry. Just give it a second because it dries really fast on this plastic. Let me do the other side. Did I use this one? I don't know which color I used. This one? Because I want to do both sides of it. And I haven't experimented with some other kinds of paint. I know it accepts paint, so you could use acrylics on here also. You can like just be as cutesy pootsy as you want with these. I have some other ideas for them, but you know, the land of ideas in my head is crazy. Alright, and then just so I know. And then also, I'm just doing this fast, so I probably would do this a little bit differently. But I just put the dot there so I can see it when I punch the hole. So I'm going to use the 3/16 here. There's 1/8. That's the small. Actually, I'm going to use the smaller one. I'm going to use the 1/18. The one, what is it? 1/8. I would show y'all what it looks like, but then I can't see. So like that. Can y'all see like inside the hole? It's just a brown dot that I put there. And then, of course, the brown is over that, but that's okay. Where's my brown? Because, you know, there's no mistakes in junk journaling. So I'm just going to go around this. I'm going to try to. Sometimes things work out if I take my time. And then go around on the side. So it's kind of a rustic kind of thing, but you could also, with those pens, you could add charms on there if you want to. So I just haven't added any charms yet, but you all will see some in the future, I'm sure. All right, so now let's just go back up a little bit. And all right, so here's our thingamabob. Let me make sure we're clear. And all you got to do Let's put this on. So if you missed why I'm doing it this way, there's a method to my madness. And the method is that instead of writing or putting like a sticker on here, I know that I'm going to move stuff around within the book because, you know, it's just like the craft room. It's very fluid. So now, as I move things around, I can move my labels around also. Pull this up. It's acting kind of crazy here. Come on. There we go. All right, so then we can move things around. Let me just move some of this stuff. Y'all, it's too much stuff. Too much. Let's put things back in here. I have so much stuff now, I can't think. I'm surrounded by stuff. Not that I'm like the neatest person in the world or anything, but I get distracted really easy. I don't know about y'all, but I do. All right, let's just move this out the way, move that out the way, move this stuff out the way, move this out the way. I'm just throwing it in a box and going later. Okay, now that's better for me. Okay, so let's move you up some more. Sorry for all the movement. I'm just trying to make sure y'all can see everything nicely. It's my vellum. It's crazy on my desk, y'all. It's a little cray. Okay, here we go. So now you can see, this is what I'm gonna love about this because it has like a dangly feel. So I'm gonna have just like a ton of these on here, and I'll probably add like some little metal charms and stuff to these as well. And I love the way the tabs look. Look at that. They have like a nice rustic feel to them. Oh, girl, yeah, of course he does. I told y'all I'm the fun grandmother. Hey, Slim. Yes. Am I the fun grandmother? Yes. See, told y'all. I know y'all couldn't hear him, but he said yes. So that's how it looks.
I said yes.
Y'all heard that? I'm the fun grandmother. Okay, anyway, so that's how the sides look for now. So it's going to have a whole bunch of these tabs on here. And then I can move the things around. So basically, I think I told you everything that I learned about making this. And then, of course, I can tie it up. But y'all know I'm going to open it back up when I get off, because I'm kind of totally obsessed with this book now. And I just want to put stuff in it. And I can put my stamps in now because I have some sheets. So I got it all nice and tied up. I got my little thingies there, and I got my stuff there, and I got my stuff there, and I just like want to carry this around with me, and it makes me happy. So that is pretty much the gist of the book. So again, it's more than an ephemera folder. It's a book, and I've told you everything that I learned about it. So the next one that I make for myself will be even better. So I am going to go ahead and shove off. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you're inspired to make your own journal. So within the next couple, or not journal, but your ephemera book. So within the next couple of days, I'm going to go ahead and post some of the notes for what I learned about making this, so you don't have to make the same mistakes. I'll post them over on the Patreon page. The link is below as well for the Patreon page. Let me go ahead and give you that as well. And just like all of my links, it's Liz for a day. Let me see. Let me see if I see it. I don't even see it myself. For shame. For shame, y'all. Let me find it real quick, if I can. That's weird. I don't see it. I think it's there, but I think I'm just overlooking it because I'm on live with you all. So it is. Liz for a day. There it is. So that's it. Hopefully it's going to go to the right place. Because sometimes you think you write links in and it's not right. Yeah, it's going to take you there. Because I tested it. So that's the Patreon page. So I'll have some links of the of things that you can do to make your book better than mine's the first time around. So I'm going to go ahead and shove off. I want to thank everybody that came on. I really enjoyed the conversation. And thank you so much, Boo Boo Kitty. You really added value. You added so much value to this book. You have no idea. Because now I'm going to be gluing things at the bottom instead of at the top. So with that, I'm going to say love, peace, and hair grease. From your sweet lotus blossom and lovable Lizzie, have a fantabulous day and enjoy life.